We all have those days that just seem a little bit harder than the rest. You wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you click snooze on your alarm for about 5 times, and when you do wake up, you're late for work or school, or you're just 5 minutes early for your first meeting. And that's how you start the day. You make it to lunch, you're a bit sluggish, you probably order in or skip lunch altogether. And by the end of the day, when it's 5 and you're wrapping up, you're burnt out because you didn't even start the day really good to begin with. And to make yourself feel better, to numb it, you watch Netflix or just doom scroll on Instagram or TikTok. I mean, we've all been there. There's no shame in the game. And believe it or not, if it isn't as drastic as I've described here, all of us go through those days in some way, shape, or form in different intensities, and we all cope with them the same way, believe it or not. But if that sounds like you, and trust me, I've had these days as well, then you, my friend, might be in a rut. There's no need to fear. If you're doing nothing else today, let this be the video that you watch, because in this video I'm going to be talking about a quality that we all have. We tap into it sometimes, but we usually forget it in the times that we're feeling stuck, and it will help you to become your own motivational speaker, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and get back into the driver's seat of your own life. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then stick around and find out. But first, let's start off with a story time.
So the older I get, the more grateful I become for my parents. I had great parents who gave me the room to be independent and make my own decisions, which meant reaping the rewards and also facing the consequences of those decisions. If you're from the Caribbean, then third form or ninth grade is a significant time in your school life. You have to choose your subjects. And for my US people listening, there's absolutely no equivalent here, so just try to understand. You have to choose the courses you wanted to take examinations for, and those affect what you want to do in the future, because some classes are prerequisites for some, so on and so forth. And I remember being anxious and feeling that I would make the wrong choice. I spoke about it with my parents and weighed the pros and the cons, like the type A person I was. But at the end of the day, they said it was up to me to choose. Mind you, I'm like, 15 or 16? Not young, but making this decision just felt like the world was on my shoulders. Randomly, the decision came down to choosing between additional mathematics and art. Believe it or not, at one point I thought I was going to be an artist, so I didn't want to give up on my passion. But I liked the sciences and I was damn good at math anyways, so it was just up to me to make the decision there. It was only after that I'd realized what this decision would mean. Choosing art meant that I had to invest more time out of class working on art pieces in addition to my science labs. I had to carry my pieces and a huge folder with me almost every day, which meant on the bus too. And it meant that I had to negotiate for art supplies and learn to do my best with what I had. I chose art, and this was my first taste of accountability, and dare I say, radical accountability.
So by now, the trait I'm talking about is accountability. And let's get sophisticated for a minute. So Mark Bolven, a famous political writer, defines accountability as both a virtue and an action. Explicitly, the virtue perspective emphasizes personal responsibility, moral obligations, and the willingness of persons to take personal responsibility over their own actions and to accept the consequences of those actions. So that means the action is simply taking responsibilities and accepting the consequences of your actions, right? And it's the simple adjective verb chicken and egg game where the more you do the thing, the more you become the thing. So like they say, excellence is like a being or an action. So the more excellent things you do, the more that excellence becomes you, if that makes sense. So the more you take responsibility and accountability for your life and different aspects of your life, the more that you become and identify with being a person who is accountable for yourself. So if it was that simple, then everyone would do it, right? Exactly. I think the main reason why we don't take accountability for all aspects of our life is because we relinquish that power usually. We think we have responsibility and we're only supposed to take accountability for certain aspects of our life. For example, the big things like maybe your health or aspects relating to your money, your career, or you have a job to survive, to have a roof over your head, etc. But when it comes to the little things like emotionally regulating yourself, those are things and areas where the personal responsibility kind of gets gray. And it can go back to how you were raised, your socioeconomic background. There are a lot of factors that play into the things that you think you have control over and the things that you don't feel like you have control over. But all in all, we control more things in our lives than we think we do. And when we get stuck or we feel like we're in a rut, it's usually us losing sight of the fact that we are the ones driving the boat. We are the ones in the driver's seat. We are the ones in control of our lives and in control of our actions. So let me talk about a realization that I have when this thought was just coming to the forefront of my mind. And quite honestly, when I was kind of feeling stuck and kind of like in a rut or in a funk, or trying to get out of a funk, I realized that not because I have had control or had taken responsibility and accountability before over aspects of my life meant that that same level of personal responsibility was going to apply in this area of my life for the things that I want. For example, you know how you're in your career and they're talking about promotions. If you want to be a manager, when someone gets promoted to be a manager, they are promoted because they have already demonstrated the things, the qualities, the actions, and delivered results that are at a level of a manager. It's never usually the other way around where you're put into that place before you're given the title. And so at the stage of my life that I'm right now, and for new grads, people in their 20s, you can probably relate to as well, where done all this work to get where you are right now, and you've done good work, but the level of accountability, discipline, maybe sacrifice that it's going to take for you to get to your next goal, or where your potential is at its highest or fully maximized, is going to be something different. It's not going to be the same level. And so what you're doing now is just not what you need to be doing. And with all that being said, here are some things that you might not even realize that you have control over, and let this be a call to action to reevaluate these different aspects to see what else you can do to take full control. 1, you have control over your time and how you manage your time. So if you don't want to say yes to outings, then don't say yes. 2, you have control over your financial decisions, whether you believe it or not. Okay, rapid fire. Your communication and relationships. So how you communicate with people, the friendships that you currently have, what are you doing to pour into them? Are you putting yourself out there to make friends? I definitely have been at fault for this, wanting to make friends, but not necessarily putting the effort out there. 3 or 4 we're at right now, your self-care and well-being. No one is gonna love you more than you love yourself and take care of you more than you take care of yourself. So get your nails done, get your hair done, do what you need to do to take care of you. You're responsible for your personal development and skills. I know a lot of the time when we, graduate college, graduate school, you kind of enter like of a plateau because you think, oh, all your learning is done. The onus is now on you to take responsibility and take back that torch that you had given to school for however many decades of your life, to start learning and doing the things that you like again, and learning the skills that you want to learn and develop and that are monetizable. Are we at 5 now? I don't even know. Your attitude and your mindset. At the end of the day, you can choose to have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. You can choose to learn. You can choose to be positive, have gratitude, or you can be someone who sees the glass half empty. And lastly, you have control over your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. No one can make you feel bad about yourself without your consent. Someone can say something, but you can choose whether or not you want to believe it, let it affect you and penetrate your mind, your soul, or let it just bounce off your back. Literally, you can choose to have limiting beliefs or empowering beliefs. You can choose to stick with the value system and belief system that you've grown up with, or be open to learning and challenging yourself, seeing if you do believe the things that you currently say you do. All in all, as I create this video, it's really a message to myself as well, to remind myself whenever I feel like I'm kind of stuck or in a rut, that I truly do have the power to change my current reality, the current state that I'm in, only if I choose to. And I reevaluate these different aspects of my life and see what areas, the areas that I am complaining about, if I can do anything that can possibly change the outcome. This message is for me, and it definitely is for you. Would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, with love from Chels. Bye.